A stunning offer has been made by the WNBA to prevent Caitlin Clark from traveling to Europe. We'll examine the groundbreaking move by the league and its implications for women's basketball going forward. Will this affect the game for the WNBA, or will it cause players to argue? Let's explore the specifics. An offer that could change Caitlin's life. Clark. Now, let's start with the major news. TO retained Caitlin Clark in the league. The WNBA is going above and beyond. The league, they're not merely presenting her with a typical contract. They are contributing an Indiana Fever ownership stake. Are you able to trust that? For a rookie, this is a revolutionary move that is essentially unheard of. Generally speaking, investors or well-established players are the only ones with ownership stakes. Thus, this demonstrates how much the Clark's potential is valued by the league. There is more to this offer than just retaining her in the WNBA. It's a calculated move to guarantee the league has a promising future. Over the years, the WNBA has encountered some financial difficulties, and they are aware of Clark's star ability to make things better. Giving her a spot on the team is an indication that they're serious about attracting great players to the WNBA. It's a daring approach that has the potential to transform women's basketball. The WNBA is being transformed by Caitlin Clark. Let's now explore why Caitlin Clark is so revolutionary. She wasn't just another player when she took the floor. For the WNBA, she was a breath of fresh air. After years of financial difficulties, Clark's entrance has completely changed the league. She has been a significant growth driver, attracting more admirers and viewers than ever before. To put it in perspective, attendance for the Indiana Fever is expected to surpass the previous record by more than 200,000. Her star power is reflected in that startling surge. When she was a student at the University of Iowa, millions of people watched her games. The WNBA is now relying on that same enthusiasm to improve the league. People's perceptions of women's basketball have significantly changed as a result of Clark's presence on the floor. She's not only having fun, she's attracting large numbers and making it lively. The franchise value of the Fever has surged to more than $90 million, and this year alone, they've experienced an increase of about 40%. That's how a player can have an impact. As Caitlin is able to, the salary difference between European leagues and the WNBA. This is the catch, though. The WNBA is taking action, but leagues in Europe are spending a lot of money. Many athletes are traveling abroad to sign contracts that considerably exceed what the WNBA allows them to make. For instance, athletes like Diana Taurasi and Breanna Stewart have garnered media attention for securing profitable contracts in Europe, which frequently pay more than what's offered in the WNBA. Now, Caitlin Clark must make a difficult decision. Should she choose to travel to Europe, she might be able to secure a contract that guarantees both the opportunity to compete on a worldwide scale and financial stability. It's difficult to refuse that kind of money, particularly in the early stages of your profession. For example, a few European teams have been recognized for offering six-figure contracts, which are far higher than what rookies usually make in the WNBA. To be why including that ownership stake, the WNBA is attempting to retain her in the United States. Will it be sufficient to compete, though? With the large sums of money from abroad, players are put in a difficult situation by the actual financial gap. They aspire to play in an expanding league and represent their nation. However, the attraction of a large salary, it's difficult to refuse in Europe. The WNBA is expanding quickly. Let's stand back and consider the wider picture. Recently, the WNBA has experienced a significant expansion in terms of viewership. They are consistently shattering records. Sales of items and tickets. Draft viewership has increased by an astounding 400% since Caitlin joined the team. That's a significant change in how people are interacting with women's basketball, not simply a blip. Additionally, ticket sales have increased by an astounding 93%. The excitement that fans have for Clark's performance is converting into money. For the league, it's amazing that regular game viewing has grown by 180%. At last, the WNBA is receiving the Caitlin Clark is leading the campaign for the acknowledgement it merits. When comparing the appraisals, the WNBA is beginning to take center stage among sports teams. MLB franchises are worth over 42%, while NFL teams are worth over 40%. The WNBA has the greatest potential for expansion in the future. With athletes like Clark at the forefront, the league has a bright future ahead of it. Her impact and path to phenomena is Caitlin Clark. She was a huge admirer at first, but she soon became famous and broke records while attending the university. From Iowa, she became the first player in NCAA Division I history to score more than 1,000 points in a single season during her junior year. While also having the most assists in the country. Millions of people watched her games, and she became well known. In basketball for women, she is now on the verge of becoming one of the sport's most significant figures. She may even become the first female basketball player to become a billionaire. That is a significant accomplishment, and it demonstrates her enormous potential. She may become a member of the sports world with the correct actions. Legends that have had a significant influence both on and off the court include Serena Williams. Clark's impact goes beyond just how she performed on the court. She now serves as an inspiration to young athletes worldwide, demonstrating to them their potential. Greatness through diligence and commitment. Her popularity is further demonstrated by her social media presence. With millions of fans eagerly awaiting her next move. Comments regarding the current ownership offer. Let's examine the responses to this ownership offer. WNBA veterans like Aja Wilson are expressing their opinions, and the results are inconsistent. The potential that comes with having a player excites some people, like Clark in the league, but some people feel a little excluded. They are concerned that this type of preference treatment could compromise the commitment and effort they've made over the years. Wilson Aya, who has been a standout player in the league, voiced her worries about what such an offer would entail. Although it's wonderful to see the league investing on its players, she said that this might lead to sentiments of envy and annoyance among experienced athletes. They've been working hard in the league, and witnessing a rookie receive such a big offer can be a little painful. It calls into question the league's evolution and whether it's causing divisions amongst both the newcomers and the veterans. For the WNBA to manage its expansion, this discussion is essential. The way the league handles Clark's position might create a precedent for players in the future, as the league is at a turning point. The tricky balance between rewarding genius and upholding everyone's sense of justice. Athletes. What Caitlin Clark's choice implies for women's basketball. The circumstances surrounding Caitlin Clark are approximately more than simply her choice. It affects women's basketball more broadly. She is now a ray of hope for the WNBA, and her decision may have an impact on how supporters, sponsors, and potential players see the league. She might help the league expand and gain even more attention if she stays and succeeds. Conversely, she may give the impression that the WNBA cannot compete financially if she chooses to go the European path. It might have repercussions. Everyone is waiting to see what she will do, because the stakes are quite high. Her choice may have long-term effects on women's basketball. Additionally, the popularity of women's basketball is at its highest point ever, and Clark is in the center of it. With the growth of streaming services and social media, more people are watching women's sports on television. That Clark's impact could be beneficial because her games are becoming must-watch events. Draw in even more partnerships and sponsorships for the league. At Caitlin's current situation. Clark's decision. Caitlin Clark is now considering her options, and there is a tangible sense of suspense. Analysts and fans alike are excited to learn her choice. Will she accept that ownership stake and remain with the WNBA? Or will she go to Europe to pursue the big money? There are a lot of variables involved, making it a difficult decision. The WNBA has placed a lot of line to maintain her participation in the league. However, it is difficult to resist the appeal of European contracts. This has more to do with than just money. Regarding her professional path and her goals in the sport, whatever she chooses, it will be a turning point in her early career. The WNBA will probably keep stepping up its marketing efforts in the interim. Clark and emphasize her accomplishments. They are aware that exposing her charisma and talent will only benefit the league's expansion. More advertising campaigns, goods, and possibly even special events are in store, focused on her while attempting to keep her in the fold. Caitlin Clark's thrilling quest comes to an end. Ultimately, Caitlin Clark's adventure is just getting started, but it already has a lot of promise and excitement. In women's basketball, she is a trailblazer. The The Globe is keeping a close eye on her as the WNBA places a large wager on her. One thing is certain: as she moves through this crucial period, there will be a lot more mentions of Caitlin Clark in the future, and her decisions will have a long-lasting effect on the beloved game. What are your thoughts, Caitlin Clark? Ought to do. Will you pursue the big money in Europe or stay in the WNBA? Post your opinions in the comment section. That concludes our discussion for today. Click like and subscribe. I'll see you at the next one. Stay tuned for more.